Good afternoon. How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing on Monday afternoon? It is a little bit after 12 o'clock Central Time, live from Houston, Texas. My name is John Ting, your host with GreenCardGuys.tv, helping you solve your immigration problem and hopefully prevent it from happening in the first place. Now, today's main topic is, can I get a green card without legal entry? Another way to phrase this, a question is, can I get a green card having entered America illegally? Now, of course, I don't like to use the word illegal, but in this situation, it's just very common when people call in and ask that specific question. And yes, the answer is yes, it is possible. Now, the main thing here is that one of those ways is through something called VAWA. If you've been a victim of abuse by your U.S. citizen spouse, or that the spouse is a legal permanent resident, so I'm sorry, U.S. citizen, so then you can apply for VAWA. And also, it doesn't have to be only. And I'm going to show you on the USCIS page where that is at. Oh, sorry, I was thinking about something else, but not permanent resident. But let me find the section on the website. Let me reduce that size. This is a very popular one. Unfortunately, it's popular. There is something called so there is something called U visa, but if it's like a significant other that doesn't have any status, or then you can file this way. Or if it's like a boyfriend, girlfriend, yeah, and not a marriage type situation. So VAWA does include residents as sponsors, or no, I'm sorry, not sponsored, but if you're married to that person. But let me also show you, it can be abused not just by your spouse, but also by a parent, believe it or not. And it's also not just by a spouse or a parent, but the abuse could have happened caused by a son or daughter. And it doesn't matter the age of that person. Okay. So, but it has to be documented in some way. So that's a hot tip, because a lot of people think it's only, uh, the misconception is I think it's only has to be from a spouse. Okay. So that's a hot tip. By the way, friends, we do offer free 15-minute preliminary discussion, and we will share a secret code towards the end of the show. And so you can unlock those free 15 minutes. And let's see here. If for some reason you're not able to call in up here, that's okay. One of the things you can do is go to our website, greencardguys.com, click on Contact Us, click on Take Quiz. Just answer a couple questions so we can have a better idea how we can help you. And that way it will save some time for our cares team when they ask you some questions. What they do the best they can to collect as much information to verify that we can help you if you want it, of course. Or maybe just have a one or two questions to point you in the right direction. Completely understandable. Happy to help. But because we get a lot of calls, please know it might take another day or two to actually get you scheduled, and or at least have a consultation with an attorney. And it might not be with me. I do have some associates, stellar associates, that can assist you as well to guide you. So let me show you the webpage. Okay, I've got it available from the USCIS website. This is a section for VAWA. So again, VAWA, Violence Against Women Act, is just one option for being able to get status without legal entry. I'm very excited to show you a couple other ones, or explain that to you or with you. By the way, if you have any questions in the meantime, or comments, suggestions, even, let me know. Appreciate any of that. And also let me know where you're watching from. I'm always excited to see if someone's watching from a different state, or, of course, different country outside the United States. So I'll pull up my shared screen again. So here it is. It can be a uh, the The perpetrator or abuser could be a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent resident. However, if it's a son or daughter, it cannot be a legal permanent resident. So it shows it right here. It does not have to be yours. Like you don't have to be married to the person anymore. You could have got divorced. So thank goodness for that. They don't want to prevent you from having to file it for divorce. You can go ahead and get that done. Don't wait, especially if you're in an abusive situation. So get that taken care of. Let me show you the screen again. So what this means is that, you know, here's the thing. Let's take a step back, higher level here. There's at least three main requirements that you have if to get green card if you're already here in the U.S. And that's legal entry. Okay, there's a section of law called 245 in the Immigration Nationality Act, INA 245A. You have to have legal entry. All right, and then you have to be, meet the requirements for the relationship. Okay, that's typically the easy one. Sometimes, not all the time. I know that in some countries like India, it's difficult to get the birth certificate, especially if it's a long time ago. And the third thing is you have to be not subject to be inadmissible. Okay, not inadmissible. I know that's a weird phrase to say. Basically, inadmissible basically means reasons or grounds for the U.S. government to remove you from the country. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that. Now, practically speaking, there's of course a concern that most people have is that, maybe at the day of interview or day you're at court, does that mean you're going to be physically removed from the country that day? No, that's not how it is right now. There's a process, and for better or worse, the process for you as a foreign national immigrant, that's a good thing because there's just not enough people working in ICE, Immigration Customs and Enforcement, to be able to physically remove you the same day as court or as a green card interview. Okay, happy Monday, Sheldon. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Alrighty. And so yeah, that's a general rule. Okay, those three things that we look at. But if you enter without a visa and you've been abused, and these are one of the you have one of these relationships here, and they have specific legal status, you can apply for VAWA without the I-364 and without having legal entry. Okay, so that's just one way. Another way, just shifting gears, I could talk all day about this, but I want to go through the high level other options that people have. Of course, you have questions about it, any of these options, please drop in the comments. Happy to assist you. Now, there's something else called 245I. Some of you know it, and some of you that do know it, it's because you've been waiting all these years to take action on it. There's a couple different scenarios I have to explain about it, but essentially, it is uh, an old law that President Bill Clinton, just a little history here. President Bill Clinton grandfathered, okay, 245I, meaning someone who has filed for a petition on your behalf, okay, as a foreign national immigrant before April 30th, 2001, April 30th, 2001, then you can take advantage of this. Of course, there's other requirements along with that, but that's just the first thing. If you have that old petition, it just means filed. It doesn't even have to be approved. It has to be approvable. Okay, so I know it's kind of strange because some people did not even receive approval notice. It's just kind of sitting there for some reason because some people that when they share this document, it's the receipt notice filed before April 30th, 2001. Okay, I can just spit out all these requirements, but that's just the main thing you need to know. It's called 245. It's called 245I. And let's see here. That's what happens when I speak too fast. Let me slow it down a little bit for y'all, for myself, really. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. The most common situation that people file a petition, I'm just going to pick October 2022, Visa Bulletin. And what this means is for folks that don't have, there's two scenarios. So even if you have a petition filed for you, by a brother or sister before April 30th, 2001. But, now you have a daughter or son who's a US citizen. Maybe they're over 21 or under, but they're like, about to be 21. This is when we get a lot of calls. Okay, because your son or daughter can file a petition for you when they turn 21. It can be on their freaking 21st birthday. Maybe not a good idea to say that. I'm pretty sure they want to have a good time on the 21st birthday, but I know they want to take care of you. So, um, but yeah, you can file the petition as soon as then, uh, as long as you have an old petition. Because some people say, well, my old petition, it's still not available on uh, the visa bulletin. So, and here's an example. F4 category is the most common that have someone has a family member that filed for them. And we skip chart A, but looking at chart B, seeing here, other than China, India, Mexico, Philippines, they're working on cases in December 2007. So that's a long freaking time ago. It's 2022 now, October, almost November. Happy Halloween, by the way. Let me know in the comments what you're dressing up as. My daughter dressed up as Princess Sophia. So if you have children, good luck to you. Every year is going to be a new costume. Well, I get it. Yeah, every year. I have not dressed up in a long time. But maybe I should see if the team wants to do that next year. Gary, I saw your question. I'll get to that very soon. But yeah, I wanted to share about this. Yeah, so 2007. So if you had that old petition filed for you, like it shows Mexico right here on the right side, right column, March 2001. So if you see, and a lot of people that contact us about this, they filed it literally like 1 week before the deadline of the grandfather deadline of April 30th, 2001. So a lot of folks are right here about to come up, let's say for Mexico. Of course, if it's a different country, you've already passed it. You've already got that taken care of. But for people from Mexico, it's coming up. I don't want to assume next month, but you want to check it actually. I was going back one to November here. Let me go to chart B. Yeah, it shows April 1st to 2001. So it's coming up. You want to, it literally is on the dot. If you want to go, you might wonder, well, why the heck do they even have a date here? You still have to follow the date. But yeah, most folks that we know have have it like April 29th or April 20th, 2001 on their receipt notice or as a priority date. So if you're not familiar with priority date, want to check out one of our older videos about Visa Bulletin in general, just talking, understanding it. And I'll try to, someone on my team can drop it in the link down below later on so you can access that quicker. Okay, so long story short, for this 245I grandfather clause, you don't wait. Okay, as soon as it shows up on priority date, even before it, go ahead and start preparing your documents, your application. We call it a package because not just the application itself, the form, but also in this situation, it'd be at least the 485. There's a bunch of forms. Okay, it's not just that one. Okay, sponsor form, affidavit of support, things like that. Uh, let's see here. Again, there's actually a lot more options. We call it the golden ticket in a situation like this where you have try to get a green card when you entered without status. Let's see here. Appreciate the questions in the comment section. Let me go ahead and take a break from my list of options here and answer a couple questions. Good morning, Jerry. Your question is, according to INA, you must carry your green card always with you, but you're afraid to lose it. Will your driver license be sufficient for domestic travel, or can I carry a photo of green card or phone? I haven't heard of a situation where someone had to carry it domestically, but but especially if you go to New York for some reason. Hey, I love New York, but I went to law school there, City of University of New York. But if you go up north towards like Niagara Falls, Buffalo, at least in the past, I hope they don't do this anymore. But customs would go up on the bus, like Greyhound, um, and check people their status. Hey, you got papers? It's pretty messed up. So you just never know, depending on the circumstance. But if you go in the middle of America, of course, then I really don't see a reason why you need to have it with you. Of course, yeah, I can understand Jerry because we have had some clients that lost their card, and unfortunately, you have to file the form I-90 to replace it. And it's ridiculous. This is one of those forms that it should be processed in like 1 month. It shouldn't take like minimum 6 months. It's yeah, just like you said here in your second comment. You don't want to risk misplacing it. You go, oh, you go to Padre Island. Okay, that's cool. Um, and you usually show your DL and they let you through without issues. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard, because I mean, technically it's close to the border in a sense, but yeah, I mean, you're still far from it, I would think. As long as the rule of thumb is, um, if you're going to be 100 miles from the international border, you want to carry that green card. Okay. Definitely do that. At the very least, now with technology, have a scanned copy on your in your phone. Okay. Speaking of phone, bring extra charger, battery pack too. My goodness, especially we're so dependent on phones. My phone shut down on me, or no, it's still it's like on my iPhone, and but the screen is black. Like I can talk to Siri, 'cause I know it's on, and I didn't think of that. It just all of a sudden Siri just wanted to start talking to me. I was like, that is totally weird. So gotta go to the Apple Store. So be careful out there with technology too. My goodness, they're just listening to everything. Let's see here. Okay. Sorry, Jerry. I'm not sure if I answered your question as like detailed as possible, but I yeah, I wouldn't want to lose it either. All right. LCL, your aunt filed a petition for your parents. Okay, great. Before the deadline, April 30th, 2001. Before that, and the case was approved August 2001. You're 24 going 25. Okay. And your PD is coming up soon. Yeah, Mexico. Okay. Yep. It is coming up very soon. So what I just showed y'all right here is this April 1st. So probably maybe in like one or maybe in a couple weeks it might update to like April 15th. I don't know how they figure that out. It's kind of strange probably, but um will you be eligible to apply for status since you're over 21? So it doesn't matter your age. Oh, okay. Your aunt. Yeah. Aunt father. Okay, we gotta do that's gonna be a tough one. That's a tough one. Because yeah, you want to make sure you didn't age out according to law, and you want to do the calculation. Okay, we're happy to help you, OCL, figure that out. But typically, when you have a short time period on from the filed step to approved on the petition, the shorter time frame on that, then that means it's going to be more difficult for you to have your age out to be protected. Okay, your 21 age protected. So yeah, that's going to be a tough one. You were, oh my goodness, you were 3 or 4 years old when the case was approved. That's but yeah, we need these three things, I believe. Okay, your file date, priority date, approval date of the petition. So, what else? Your date of birth, and then we have to backtrack to see when the visa bulletin. Well, in this situation, you don't have to backtrack. We know it's coming up very soon, but typically for other people, have to backtrack when the priority date was for the person's specific priority date was first available. Okay, but yeah, it's a strange calculation. I see your other comment. You're asking because you asked your paralegal if you would be eligible as she was renewing your DACA, and she told you you wouldn't be because of the age out law. However, age out because of the backlog. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean that's my. I'm leaning towards if I had to make a guess that you probably are not protected because of the short time period of file date to approval date of the I-130. Just based on doing these calculations a lot for folks. Um, but you still want to check, okay? Um, yeah, you're renewing your DACA. Okay. Yeah, so that's a third option, folks. I was gonna say about DACA. For those have DACA recipients, I gotta look up the instructions here for I-130. Okay, so if you have DACA and you have a you have a spouse, for example, or you have a yeah. In this situation, most likely it would only be a spouse, or because of, if I have a parent file for you, it would not be immediate relative. Um, so if it was a parent, it'd be a lot more steps. So we could talk about a different time. But if it was if it was your spouse, then I recommend, if you're eligible for it, to apply for advanced parole. Okay, if you have DACA right now, but it's not for everyone. Okay, it depends on. Let me share my screen. It depends on the your reason for travel. So the thing is, like I said before, that you need, typically by default, legal entry. So if you don't, getting advanced parole allows you to. You can always travel outside, but of course, you if you're watching this, you probably already know, if you travel outside, you will be subject. The 10-year bar will trigger against you. Now, it's a fairly safe assumption that a lot of people who have already overstayed America have overstayed by more than 1 year, 365 days. So if that's the case and you leave, even if it's to Canada, okay, even if it's an island, I would just be very, very, very careful. Okay. If you go to a different island and you expect to see customs, be very careful. Okay. Because that can trigger a 10-year bar. You just don't want to do that. So, to prevent that for folks who have DACA, and if you're eligible to apply for advanced parole, it's not for everyone, okay? Because you might not be eligible. Uh, first thing is medical concern of a family member outside America. Another one is for education purposes. So, and I know there's a third one. Let's see here. The third one is, that a letter from a school employee acting in official capacity. Okay, that's for education purposes. Oh, employment purposes. Like if you're going for a conference or something, and it doesn't have to be your country of nationality, it could be somewhere else. So that's just something to explain there. So anyway, I'm at the application for travel document page on the USCIS website. If you scroll down, go to instructions. What I just did the other day, I think I just searched for DACA and it just popped up. Somewhere here it shows, I think above actually. I know it's quite small. Let me make it larger for y'all. Okay, there we go. So number three, advance parole document for individuals who are in the United States currently. It allows an alien, immigrant, foreign national to physically enter the U.S. for a specific purpose. Okay, so let's see. So scrolling down here, somewhere here it mentions specific. Okay, here we go. Okay, specific for those who have DACA. By the way, if here it is, if there's been deferred action taken on your case, so here it says for children, um, education purposes, it can include but not limited to semester abroad programs or academic research, or B, employment purposes, include but not limited to overseas assignments, interviews, conferences, training, or meetings with clients, and humanitarian purposes, include but not limited to travel to obtain medical treatment, attend a funeral service for a family member, or visit an ailing relative. So those are the main ways, okay? It says include but not limited to because it can include other situations, but they're not going to make a whole like black and white list for you, because they probably don't want to put themselves in a situation to say like, oh shoot, the government has to approve every single situation. So anyway, let's see here. So hopefully it helps. So because when you do travel outside the U.S. with advanced parole approved and come back to the U.S., it's still not a guarantee that the customs will let you back in. Okay, so it is a risk. Okay, and then you might ask, well, what the heck? What do you do after if that happens? And then in that case, then you file for the waiver, but you have to wait outside the U.S. But knock on wood, fortunately, let me have that like that a little louder. Knock on wood, none of our clients have had a negative situation, and they were able to come back legally with the advanced parole. Now, keep in mind, you cannot have any crimes, meaning you cannot have signed any plea bargains, nothing in your past history. If that is the case, even arrest, and you haven't resolved the situation yet to charge, then I would just wait. Okay. So it just depends on everyone's situation and timing. If you love that information, please smash the like button. Those are hot tips. I'm sharing tips every single day except Saturday and Sunday. All right, unless on TikTok, which by the way, if you happen to be on TikTok anyway, please give it a follow. I greatly appreciate it. Green card guys underscore John. And let me go ahead. Thank you so much for waiting patiently. I'm going to go ahead and share with you that if you don't have time to fill out the form or anything like that, that's okay. Or even give us a call for a consultation. We do offer a free guide on our website. Okay. You can click on it, just scroll all the way down and click on download guide. You go to new next page and it'll give you the option to download it. Okay. And we do also have one where people are suffering delays on their cases. It can literally be any type of application that was filed. Um, and we basically have our own chart to show like, okay, if it's been this many months, these many years, then it's time to file. Okay. A lawsuit called mandamus action in federal court. Okay, I've been getting a lot of these kind of questions about like, what does it look like? How do I sign up? What to expect? Now, for these type of mandamus kind of cases, lawsuits, or really any case type, for the most part, we offer three different plans, and the key difference for most of them is a timing to file your case. So it could be if it's a lawsuit, it could be 3 days, 7 days, or 30 days, and of course. In terms of like if it's for the petition or apply for residency, green card, it's 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days typically. Okay. Now, if it's a case involving a waiver, the minimum is 45. Okay. But yeah, I know there's some of y'all out there that really want to file sooner and already have a lot of evidence already, then we do offer an option for 15 days to file from your hire date. But it just depends on your budget, and that's okay. We just have it available for you. And here it is, folks. We share this. We have these plans intentional for you, so that you know exactly when we're going to file. Maybe we might beat your expectations, file sooner than that, but it does require teamwork. Okay, folks, we can't come up with information out of thin air. Okay, it requires teamwork. And let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and share this. Well, before I share this code, let me make sure. Okay, did I answer your question? Is Phage? I don't know if I pronounced your name correctly. I apologize. Can you apply for advanced parole if your asylum case is in court? I don't believe so. I think you have to have asylee status approved. Asylee status means you've already been granted the application approved. I don't see here. You should go to the instructions that I was just showing earlier about this. Um, let's see here. It looks like you need. I don't believe anyone that has asylum pending application. I don't believe. I've never seen that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't seen that you can apply for advanced parole as with the filed application only. Okay, so uh, what you've said here on the comment, it seems like it's still processing pending. Okay, so hopefully that helps. But that's why a mandamus lawsuit would help. If you have a strong case, if you believe you have a strong case for asylum, for example, and you've been waiting for at least 4 years after file date, okay, and it's with USCIS, it's not with the court, then that could be a possibility to file a lawsuit. Okay, you for the folks watching later on as well, yeah, you might not be eligible, in our opinion, to file a lawsuit. I know some people say they don't want to file a lawsuit at all. Like some attorneys, they just don't want to get involved. It's completely understandable, but we're here to help you if you need it. And let's see. So yeah, that's why I mentioned that again about the lawsuit because it sounds like you want to travel outside the U.S. I completely understand. I wouldn't want to be stuck in the U.S. all the time. But keep in mind, even if you do get approved with asylee status, you still cannot go back to your country that you're fleeing for the persecution. Okay, the U.S. government will say, well, if that's the case, we're going to take away your status. So that is very, very important. Okay, friends, I'm going to share the secret code right now. Here it is. Okay, you could have guessed it. Green card guys on the bottom left of your screen. I might need to change it to golden ticket. But there's benefits listed right there to show how we're different than many law firms. I've spoken at a conference about this, and a lot of lawyers look at me like, is that possible, John? Of course. Why not? We're a professional like any other. We have to provide detailed list of what we offer to our customers, our clients. Otherwise, we'll probably be getting a lot of phone calls if people don't know when their case is going to be filed. So we're happy to help folks. If you just only have a question and you're not considering to hire, completely understandable. Okay. We're still happy to help you. 720-740-4247. Or you can go to our website. We should have a link down below, greencardguys.com. All right, friends. Until next time, which is tomorrow. See you at noon. I'll try to be on time. Talk to you soon.